Hey champ, I'm Stuart Stone, this is Health and Fitness Over 40, and today's video is for you if you're finally ready to kick your sugar addiction. So let's get into it. Going back 200 years, the average American ate just 2 pounds of added sugar in a year. Today, it's 3 pounds a week. That's 152 pounds of added sugar a year. That's a 50 times increase, and by anybody's book, that is a massive growth. But where are we getting it? Where is it hidden? Where is it in our foods? When you look at the labels, you can see that there's over 42 different names for sugar in different products. In other words, it's everywhere, and it's in so many foods that you wouldn't even consider. If we look at soft drinks for a moment, so sodas, pops, fruit juices, iced coffees, iced teas, and so on and so forth, you're going to see that for each sugar cube, that's 4 grams of sugar. In other words, when we look at these drinks, they are absolutely loaded with sugar. And fruit juices are no better. In fact, when you take the fiber out of fruit juices, it behaves like any other refined sugar. So what happens is when you consume it, you get an insulin spike, which cuts back your brain's ability to release the leptin hormone, which tells you when you are full. So the result, overeating. Is that part of the obesity epidemic hitting the United States and the Western world? Yes and no. Scientists argue, is it all down to sugar, or is it just down to an overconsumption of calories? Well, here at Health and Fitness Over 40, we like to keep it simple and say, you know what? If you've got a bunch of hidden calories in food, that's going to result in an overconsumption of calories on the whole, which means more retained calories in your body, which means more fat over time, more weight, and ultimately obesity, which can't be good for your health, whether that means obesity, metabolic syndrome, diabetes, heart disease, or a myriad of other diseases that are lifestyle related and directly related to being overweight. So today's video is all about what you can do to kick your sugar addiction, and also to answer the question, how addictive is sugar really? So when you look at animal studies, they'll argue that sugar is 8 to 9 times more addictive than cocaine when fed to rats. Now my question is, well, did the rats just get sick of getting high when they drank the cocaine water and went back to sugar water? I don't know if sugar is more addictive than cocaine because I've never done cocaine. But for me, if you want to hit me with sugar cravings, you've got Mars bars and picnic bars. Those are ones that I reach for if I'm feeling tired and run down. And if you put me next to some Coles cookies, those things are like kryptonite to me. I'll empty the pack without even looking and then feel sick afterwards, but I'll go back for more. It's a craving, it's out of control. And these are some of the indicators for addictive behavior. In other words, you have cravings, you have binge eatings, you have withdrawals, you have habit modification and adaptation and increased tolerance to that item, whether it's sugar or hard drugs. In other words, we build up a tolerance and resistance over time. And then in the brain, is there a change in behavior? And if we look at this graphic, we see that consumption of sugar lights up the same area of the brain as cocaine does. So there's something going on in the brain, and when you look at the dopaminergic pathways, in other words, the release of dopamine when you consume sugar, it's the same as when you're consuming hard drugs. Then you look at other changes with insulin and leptin hormones in the body, it creates us coming back for more. And then we look at other neurological pathways and neurotransmitter pathways like acetylcholine. There's a strong case to be answered for sugar addiction. But the good news is, unlike hard drugs, the sugar addiction can be broken and the withdrawal overcome in just 10 days. So how do we do it? What are the strategies? What are the 5 simple steps? Or in this case, the 5 simple steps plus a few bonuses that are going to help you to kick your sugar addiction and take control back of your eating habits and your life. Because that's the big things for me. I want to be running my life. I don't want my cravings and my habits running me. So if you're anything like that, here are the tips that I used that helped me move forward. So let's get started. Number 1, drink more water. And there's 2 reasons for that. Number 1, cravings happen typically when you're dehydrated and you crave foods when really you just want water, you just want to hydrate your body. Number 2 out of that is also, if you're drinking water, you're not sucking down all these hidden sugars in all of these soft drinks. If we look at Coke, if we look at pop, if we look at soda, if we look at fruit juices, as we saw, there are so many sugars just loaded up. We're looking at 42 grams, 37 grams, 20 grams of sugar just in one glass of drink. So that's a massive calorie increase just sucking down one drink. They're empty calories, you're not filled up, you're not full, you're not satiated, and you're still reaching for more. And that's part of the trap that we want to get out of. So drink more water, hydrate yourself, fill up your stomach on water, and then maybe you don't want to be consuming all those calories in sugar. So if we just look back to my Mars bar or my picnic bar that I eat, I've got to walk for about 50 minutes to burn that out of my body. If I drink a can of Coke or a can of pop or soda, I've got to go for a 35-minute walk. And if I eat my Coles cookies that I love so much, I might as well walk out the door and I'll see you tomorrow. In other words, there's a lot of exertion just to burn off a bad habit that we're putting in our body. So instead, if you're looking to lose weight and break your sugar addiction, how about you get a big glass of water, don't eat the crap, and then go for a walk for 35 minutes or an hour and actually burn those calories that you would have put on. So it creates a win-win. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 and 3 kind of go together because they tie in with your body's hormones the same way. So step number 2, get more sleep. Aim to get 7.5 to 8.5 hours each night. Why? Because when you get enough sleep, you're not waking up in the morning, you're not burnt out, you're not reaching for the caffeine or the sugar hit to get you started in your day. You're well rested, you're not hyped up, you're not stressed out, and so you can hit your day calmly instead of reaching for a sugar hit to get you through your day. Same thing with stress levels. If your stress levels are lower, well then you're not going to be reaching for the pick-me-up or the comfort foods. So how do we lower our stress levels? Number 1, deep breaths. In other words, if there's a stressful situation, before you react, 6 deep breaths, that's what the research shows, to lower your cortisol levels, reset your body, and allow you to make a conscious decision. And if you're looking to lower your stress levels longer term, how about just practicing some form of mindfulness? So something like meditation, or just sitting quietly for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, listening to a relaxation tape, whatever works for you, just getting away from the hustle and bustle of the world, get outside in nature, give a bit of time back to yourself so that you can reconnect and you're not reacting to what the world's throwing at you as much. Step 4, you've heard me say it in so many ways when you're trying to lower your body mass index, and the video's up here, or if you're looking to take control over your life, more fresh fruit and vegetables. Now there's sugar in fruit, yes, but there's also a bunch of fiber in there, and when you eat fruit or foods that are sweet, and my favorites after a fast are eating dates, you're getting a lot of fiber in, and what that does is that slows down the release and absorption of sugar, which doesn't spike your insulin levels, which doesn't create a block for leptin, which doesn't then cause you to overeat. So if you're eating fruits, and eat the whole fruit, don't juice it out and then eat the sugar water, because that's essentially all it is. Eat the whole fruit and get that fiber in there and the micronutrients, much better for your body. So more fresh fruit and vegetables, you can eat a whole lot more. If you're eating fibrous and dense foods, they're nutritiously dense, but they're low calorie. You can fill up, feel great. In fact, you can be totally stuffed, and yet you're not over consuming calories. So again, the net result is a net loss of calories. You're burning more by more activity. The fat's coming off your body. It's a simple equation as that. And my favorite party trick when I'm craving anything is, okay, instead of telling yourself no, because when I hear no, or when I tell myself no, I want it more. It was one of my mother's favorite tricks when I was growing up. If I didn't want to do something, she'd tell me I couldn't, and my psychology would kick in and say, screw you, woman, I'm going to do it anyway just to spite you. So I know for me, if I tell my body no, I'm just going to want it more. So what I do instead that works is, yeah, I want to eat something sweet, I want to have a chocolate, I want to have a cookie or something like that. Sure, I'll do that, but I'll do it in 10 minutes or 30 minutes from now, and then recheck in with myself in 30 minutes, and typically the craving's gone, I don't need it. So it's, instead of a hard no, it's let's just delay the response and reassess. And that seems to work for me. It's a psychology thing. Find what works for you and apply it. And tip number 6, we're up to my favorite, which is fasting. Why do I love fasting so much? There's a number of reasons. Number 1, you're going out without calories for a period of time. Number 2, it allows your body to reset. So if you want to improve your insulin sensitivity, which is going to lower your sugar cravings, and also when you eat sugars, you're not going to crave as much because your insulin is going to be a lot more effective in your body, and this is great for you if you're pre-diabetic or type 2 diabetes, you may want to start fasting. Now for me, okay, I've been doing this for about 3 years now. I'll do a 24 to 40 hour fast once a week. It's typically no food Thursday for me. That's just what works for me. But if you're starting out, this is what I suggest. Push breakfast back an hour. In the morning, get up, drink some water, go for a 25, 30-minute walk or an hour's walk or whatever your schedule allows, or pick up a skipping rope and skip for 5, 10 minutes. Burn some calories, rehydrate your body, and push breakfast back. You're now on a burning situation. You're losing calories and losing fat as opposed to eating calories in the first meal of the day. Now, if you can work over the next 3-4 weeks to pushing your first meal of the day back to about midday or 1 p.m., what you've done is you've naturally created a 16-hour fast from when you ate dinner last night to lunchtime today. So fasting is simple when you apply simple principles and stay hydrated. It doesn't need to be difficult. And if you want to reset your hormones, go and do a bit of exercise. That'll switch your brain from wanting food because it diverts your blood flow to your muscles away from your organs of digestion, and you're going to eat a lot less. So again, burning fat the whole time plus beating your sugar addictions. And then the next one, this is again what works because it resets my taste buds or does something like that. Apple cider vinegar, in other words, a couple of tablespoons of apple cider vinegar in a glass of water or lemon juice. Drink that, you're not going to be craving sugars. Or eating foods like sauerkraut. These are fermented foods that have a bitter, sour taste, and also what they do is they refeed your probiotics in your body that is then going to restore your natural gut biome, your normal gut flora that sugar and other refined foods wipe out. And the final step, probably the most important one, step 8, in other words, we're 5 simple steps with 3 bonuses. Step 8 goes like this. Be gentle with yourself. You're going to screw up. You're changing a habit around. I know for me right now, there are times when I'm run down, tired or whatever else, that I'm going to reach for the sweet stuff. And what I say to you and the message I want to share with you is, when you do something great, celebrate and big yourself up. Positive self-talk. You're awesome. Well done. You worked hard at it. And if you screw up and have a binge, don't go freaking yourself out and calling yourself crap and all the horrible names that you wouldn't say to a 3-year-old. Be gentle with yourself. So, right, we had a fall down. Now let's get back on the horse and do it better tomorrow. Simple as that. Be gentle with yourself. Forgive yourself. And if you've had a sugar binge, my suggestion is go on a fast for 16 hours, 24 hours, something like that. Allow your body to recover and clear all that toxic crap out of your system, and then reset and start again. And if you are prone to sugar binging, introduce the apple cider vinegar in a glass of water at the start of your day, and when those sugar cravings kick in, again, just get something sour into your system, not sugar laden, and just use that to reset. Like I said, go for a walk, do something different, distract yourself, delay that gratification 10 minutes, 30 minutes, let that craving pass, and it will pass. Give yourself 10 to 14 days and you'll find that those sugar cravings are so diminished or non-existent. So they're my tips for you. Check it out, try them out for yourself, leave a comment below what works for you, what struggles you're having, and let's set up a community so we can help each other out to kick the sugar addiction, to hit our ideal weight, to be healthy, to be fit, and to make 2020 our best year yet.